Once a dominant figure in Harlem, commanding respect like the Godfather, he did so while donning gold sports suits and driving the flashiest cars. Let's delve into the story of one of the most notorious drug traffickers in US history, and discover how he ended up working as a grocery bagger at a Walmart in his final days. Early life. From streets to schemes. Picture this. It's October 15, 1933, and in the vibrant heart of Harlem, New York City, Leroy Nicky Barnes, known to the streets as Nicky, takes his first breath. Growing up in a cramped one-bedroom apartment on 8th Avenue and West 113th Street with his family, Nicky's early years were anything but glamorous. His father juggled roles as a building superintendent, a marijuana and beer seller, and a poker game host to make ends meet. Despite his hustle, his gambling addiction often left the family in financial turmoil. To escape the constant parental brawls, young Nicky found solace on the streets, teaming up with his buddy Jackie Gomez. Their early exploits included purse snatchings and car break-ins. At 13, Nicky and Jackie joined the tiny Turk Street gang, marking the beginning of their descent into the criminal underworld. One fateful day, Nicky stumbled upon a stash of heroin in a utility closet, hidden by his father for a local dealer. Curiosity led to consumption, and before long, Nicky was hooked, sharing his addiction with Jackie. The turning point. From petty crimes to big-time deals. Life at home reached a boiling point when a desperate teenage Nicky tried to intervene in a parental fight with a makeshift zip gun. The botched attempt not only strained his relationship with his father, but also pushed him deeper into the gang lifestyle. He dropped out of high school and began selling heroin to feed his habit. Not long after, local heroin dealers noticed his potential and recruited him as a courier. Tragedy struck when Jackie was killed by police during a botched robbery. The loss of his friend was a wake-up call for Nicky, who vowed to abandon robberies and focus on drug dealing. By 1959, he was pulling in a whopping $1,600 a day, which translates to around $11,000 in today's money. But his luck ran out when police raided his place, seizing drugs, paraphernalia, and cash, landing him a 3.5-year stint in Greenhaven Correctional Facility. Prison connections. Learning from the mafia. Prison turned out to be a pivotal chapter for Nicky. There, he converted to Islam and crossed paths with Matthew Madonna, an associate of the Lucchese crime family. Despite racial tensions, Madonna schooled Nicky in the ways of the mafia, imparting valuable lessons that would shape his criminal empire once he was released in 1962. Fresh out of prison, Nicky hit the ground running. With a half kilo of heroin, a silenced gun, and a $5,000 loan from Madonna's brother, he built a reputation for selling potent heroin. He even found love with a woman named Sister, who suggested he hire women to cut the heroin naked to prevent theft. The couple tied the knot in a low-key ceremony, solidifying their partnership both in love and crime. Building an empire. The Council. By 1965, Nicky's heroin processing lab was busted, leading to a hefty 25-year sentence. However, his alliance with Colombo crime family's Crazy Joe Gallo set the stage for an ambitious plan. Take over Harlem's heroin trade from the mafia. Legal maneuvering, funded by Gallo, led to his release in 1969, thanks to evidence of illegal wiretapping by the police. Back on the streets, Nicky wasted no time. He rekindled his heroin supply chain with Madonna, and, in 1971, met dancer Thelma Grant, who soon bore his child Nicole. Determined to avoid direct involvement and thus evade legal trouble, Nicky formed the Council, a 7-man syndicate, sworn to loyalty and respect for each other's turf and women. Their heroin was cheaper and purer than their competitors, making them a dominant force in Harlem and Brooklyn. Nicky himself was raking in a staggering $25 million annually, living in luxury with multiple homes, a fleet of fancy cars, and an extravagant wardrobe. High stakes. A dangerous game. The Council's empire was thriving, but tensions were inevitable. In 1975, they bought heroin worth $250,000 from a mob soldier, but when the product turned out weak, they demanded a refund. When the mobster, Michael Puglisi, resurfaced in 1976, Nicky ordered his execution, suspecting him of snitching to the feds. On July 29, 1976, Puglisi was gunned down, hit so close that his shirt caught fire. Surprisingly, no mob retaliation followed. Nicky's flamboyance knew no bounds. On October 15, 1976, he threw a lavish birthday bash atop the Time Life building, with undercover D agents posing as staff. By November, the Council had raked in $100 million from heroin sales, prompting the D to intensify their investigation. The beginning of the end. Undercover ops and arrests. Undercover agents infiltrated Nicky's inner circle. D agent Luis Diaz posed as a heroin dealer, gaining trust and arranging large transactions. Meanwhile, Agent Mary Buckley mingled with Nicky's associates, gaining invaluable intel. In December, a major heroin deal involving Council member Wally Fisher was surveilled, leading to a bust. Despite 13 prior arrests, Nicky had always slipped through the cracks. But on March 15, 1977, arrest warrants were issued, and Nicky was caught after a brief car chase. The authorities seized $300,000 in cash and $1 million worth of heroin. Out on bail, Nicky brazenly posed for a New York Times magazine cover, dubbing himself Mr. Untouchable. This bold move caught President Jimmy Carter's attention, who pressured prosecutors to nail him. The full trial and conviction. On September 29, 1977, a high-profile trial began, marking the first use of an anonymous jury in U.S. history. Prosecutors played undercover recordings that exposed Nicky's operations. On December 2, Nicky, along with other council members, was found guilty. Judge Henry Worker handed him a life sentence on January 19, 1978, sending him to Marion Federal Prison in Illinois. Betrayal and Retaliation. The final chapter. With Nicky behind bars, Guy Fisher took over the council. However, Nicky's wrath knew no bounds when he learned of Fisher's affair with his mistress, Shamika. Nicky's murder orders were ignored, so he turned snitch, cooperating with federal investigators. On December 13, 1982, Shamika was killed in a Washington Heights bar, signaling the deadly consequences of crossing Nicky. Nicky's testimony decimated his former empire, leading to the conviction of 50 associates. In 1998, he was released into the Witness Protection Program, where he lived a quiet life until his death from cancer in 2012. His death remained secret until 2019, shrouded in the mysteries of witness protection. Nicky Barnes' saga is a wild ride through the highs and lows of the drug trade, filled with betrayal, power, and the relentless pursuit of dominance. His legacy, as controversial as it is captivating, remains a stark reminder of the dark allure of the criminal underworld. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the lives of infamous figures. Until next time, keep it real, keep it safe, and keep it thrilling.